The Nigerian Bar Association Ikeja branch held their 18th Chief Gani Fawehinmi annual lecture at Ikeja, Lagos, with the theme, The Imperative of Good Governance and the Struggle of Chief Gani Fawehinmi. In a welcome address by the chairman of the NBA Ikeja branch, in the presence of Bartholomew Agbodegbo, after a minute silence for the late Chief Gani Fawehinmi and Mohammed Fawehinmi, was backed by a goodwill message by the NBA president Olumide Akpata.
Gani, our hero, deserves nothing less. Chief Fawehinmi was a man who spoke truth to power. Are there still men like him today? Men who are ready to place the interests of the public over their personal interests. Men who can sacrifice their personal comfort for the communal goal. Men who, even on their deathbed, will continue to remain concerned about the country Nigeria. Certainly, Chief Gani Fawehinmi stood tall and he stood out amongst men. This portion of my speech, I was about to ask that we observe a minute silence for Chief Gani Fawehinmi.
Today, what we find is that it is the income first before the zeal to get justice. I think today will seem to remind us very, very well that we as lawyers and the judiciary itself and governance have a role to play in sustaining good governance and justice.
Meanwhile, in a speech by the former Vice-Chancellor of Osun State University, who also doubles as the guest speaker, spoke exclusively on the bone of contention of the event, stressing on the imperative of good governance, also emphasizing on the good works of the late Chief Gani Fawehinmi.
As much as we can, that will be a great way to contribute to good governance. Gani Fawehinmi was not an armchair or egocentric critic. We have so many of them now, armchair and egocentric critics. Because I was not made a minister or a commissioner, I become a critic of government. Because I used to benefit from government, I'm no longer benefiting. So I become a social critic. Gani Fawehinmi was not like that. People now become critics for primordial sentiments, for losing influence or favors, or for being on the wrong side of good government policies. Objective criticism, devoid of sentiment, will contribute to good governance.
Meanwhile, two of the discussants who joined the event online also contributed their quota to the bone of contention, as the two legal practitioners who spoke with KAFTAN TV correspondent pressed the late legal practitioner, noting that his legacy still lives on.
We need it because that is the only way our leaders, if they will listen, can learn from his track records. It was selfless. Today, our leaders, like you know, none of them is selfless. Everything is for selfish reasons.
All the days of the life of Chief late Gani Fawehinmi, he was talking about good governance, talking about justice and equity, fighting for the oppressed. And so I think NBA Ikeja branch this year look at the issue of the struggles of Gani and how far we have gone as a nation in terms of enthroning good governance.
The event had in present different dignitaries from the legal profession, as well as human rights activists, among others. From Lagos, Omotoshola Sharimakin, KAFTAN News.